Welcome, welcome, one and all, to the Green Hell. Good evening, everybody. My name is Ike Sky, and you are watching Apex Online Racing's GT3 League Tier 2 from none other than Nürburgring. We will be running the combined circuit tonight, as our GT3 runners exit the pit lane for the first time on this fresh track. No rubber down so far. Entering the first out of the pits, it seems like we're going to run with him for the time being, as he tries to get plenty of opportunity to get the tyres and the brakes and, well, basically everything warm on this particular lap. Hopefully aiming for somewhere around 8-9 minutes for a lap here. 15 minutes qualifying, meaning that these boys are probably going to get a maximum of 2 fast laps. That's going very much into the getting into the overtime section of a Project Cars qualifying session as well. So the calm before the storm. And believe me, we're going to be making the most of this. Enton has got an absolutely enormous gap to the cars behind. He is all on his own. He can afford to slow up so much at the end of this lap to get his tyres in. It's incredible that they've waited so long to get started. But yes, good evening everybody. Welcome to Nurburgring Nordschliefe. Dubbed to the Green Hell, but I'm not gonna lie, to me personally, it always has been a bit of a paradise city. Every corner of this track is a challenge and is unique in its own way. They say it's easy to get lost around here. With enough laps. You know the way. Enton, speaking of knowing the way, looking very comfortable in that green Mercedes. See, what I can never remember is the name of the names of the corners. Very interesting here. We've got Psycho in the Ferrari and Stephen Carey still in the pits. They haven't left yet. Now, are they doing setup changes because they know something that we don't? Or are they having setup issues, which would be, let's face it, very bad. And who do we have? There's quite a gaggle of cars. Meerkat, hopefully the NSX boys will be... Ah, gotcha. Well, at least he's going to get a lap in. That's absolutely fine. Melonia's only just gone out as well. So Melonia is definitely going to be doing a one-lap wonder. Who else have we got? So we got the Bentley of Colossus thundering through the forest, already with some dents on the bonnet. So what has he hit? Phantom Hamster with a lot of space behind him. And Claes Landbo. Fantastic to see Landbo able to join the grid. Ah, here we go. Here we go. This is going to be... This is where the interesting part of qualifying is going to be coming from. So what we have at the moment is we have a Nintz there who is directly in front of him in the Audi Hot Wheels liveried car. Tickle wish pickle wickle. Fantastic. Deuce in the Bentley is a little bit in the thick of it there. Again, we've got a 20-kilometer track here. There's no reason for these guys to be running so close unless they're just trying to get the heat in their tyres. It's not Jack Game Colossus, it's not Atlas. Gromazeka in the 650S, taking it quite easy by the looks of things. Absolutely not going to be pushed through the early part of the lap. That's the way to keep the tyres in check, let's be real. P-lock, there we go. So this is going to be interesting. We have the McLaren of Gromazeka in the middle of the field. So he's going to be wanting to find some space. P-lock's currently at the head of this, with Nintz running behind. It's qualifying and the boys are all up to their old tricks already. And meanwhile, as we jump back to Enton for a brief moment, here's silence reign, other than the sound of that single Mercedes. It's as though everybody has decided to go at exactly the same time. We have a couple of straddlers further back, and that will be... Lambo is just leaving. Oh dear. And Wagner's definitely a one-shot. He's about right. Meerkat is... yeah, they're looking okay. Stephen Carey is going to be a one-shot as well. P-lock is in the front of the grid as we've seen. Stormy CZ coming up to the carousel. See how he takes this on his warm-up lap. Nice, calm, little bit far out, but that would be okay. Oh, the Bentley of Colossus. Is that Colossus? No, who was that? Oh, they're getting very, very wide here. Lambo's back in the pits. That is going to be his day done already. Meanwhile, how do we look towards the top of the grid? Enton is coming through the final corner across onto the Grand Prix circuit to start his qualifying lap with 6 minutes remaining. And here we go. Now is the time that you bring the noise. And that Mercedes is certainly capable of bringing it. Big old switch going down into that chicane there. And do we have an Audi across the line? We do have an Audi across the line, and Nintz has made a move in front of the Audi as well. So, is Nintz feeling confident with the setup of that Lamborghini? We will very quickly find out. Because if he's not, he's going to be off in the gravel. And what will be Very fortunate as well. No pit lane penalties. That's what we like to see. Enter, meanwhile, about to leave the Grand Prix circuit and embark on his trek through the forest. Oh boy. Very neat and tidy through this first sector. That's a gorgeous camera angle this is. This is S's that make sense, okay? Of course, vital to remember that the Nürburgring is actually a public road. So this is technically street racing. But as far as GT3 and circuit racing are concerned, it's probably about as close as you're going to get to street racing anyway. Every bump mapped to perfection. A tidy little four-wheel drift coming down into a banked right-hander here, whose name I absolutely can't remember. Through the dip, at the bottom of the hill. This is a satisfying series of corners. I'll tell you what, let's just jump on board. Through the dip, massive compression through there, goes light over the bumps, and then these three corners are just slowing down a gear, down a gear, down a gear, until you end up in second gear. Maybe third. Was that third? No, that was second gear. Mercedes has a very, very low rumble from on board as well. Four-wheel drifting down into the square left, and now we are going to fall down into the valley yet again through a tight and technical right-hander, which saw dramas at the 24-hour Nürburgring race a couple of years ago, where it hailed. There was rain and clear weather around other parts of the tracks, but through here it was hailing, and there was some enormous crashes as a result. Enton keeping that Mercedes very neat and tidy. I may have to grab a word once he's completed this, because this is a superb job from Enton. Even if he's not quickest, it's an absolutely fantastic showcase lap. Definitely one for people to pay attention to as far as racing lines are concerned. Thomas D in one of the more colourful Lamborghinis. Currently being hunted down by, I think, Deuce. Come on, where are we? Deuce? Yes. That Demon Tweaks Lamborghini is quite an iconic livery. Oh, a massive kick of oversteer. Had to pull right out the throttle there. Let's have a very, very brief look at Nintz and see if he... We have had a couple of retirements already. He hasn't crashed yet. Well done. Well done, Nintz. You've not crashed yet. Where's Enton? Where is Enton? I think we've lost Enton. Oh no! Our lead car has disconnected. We started with 26, so we've lost another driver as well already in qualifying, but this means that our first time coming through is going to be Nintz. Absolutely no pressure, mate. None at all. Qualifying is complete, and now we have just over 6 minutes for qualifying to be complete. Oh, brilliant. It's okay, boys. You can chill. You should get around in that time. But, yeah. Very much a one-hit wonder. I do think Enton was the only one who had any chance of getting 2 laps out of this qualifying session, and he is not going to get that. Hopefully he can get reconnected for the start of the session, because the way that these races tend to run, it's survival of the cautious. You don't win the race by necessarily being quick. You win the race by surviving, and the Ginetta of that TPW, TPW is going to get majorly balked now by Thomas D in the Lamborghini. The Ginettas were hoping for a strong performance through the forests here. Oh, and that is the time invalidated, the car damaged. That is going to be Thomas D's lap over. But keep going, Thomas, because if you can get a lap done, that will bump you so far up the grid just because you completed a lap. Keep going, mate. Eyes on Deuce now. With that Ginetta that has been slightly slowed. Wasn't what I meant to do. How is our leading driver coming through the mini carousel now? Very neat and tidy. That Lamborghini, as always, set up like a dream. Some very jerky steering going on from Nintz there. Wonder if his setup's alright. Now on to not Hasenbach. What on earth is this straight lane? I know this is going to be an exercise in futility. You're just dusting her. God damn it! That was appalling. I'm so sorry. Through the last chicane, and here we go. We have a matter of minutes before the end of the session. Our first time's going to come through. Our one-hit wonder number 1 will be Nintz with an 8:44.6. Let's see how that goes. A 2-second gap back to Lev, and then the 650S of Gromaseka is going to go 7 whole seconds faster. Mad Dog in the Mercedes will come across the line in second. Ticklewish Picklewickle has dethroned the 650S in the Ginetta despite that slowdown. How much faster could the Ginetta have gone? We have to wonder. And Jesse Gaming all the way up in second place. That's a fantastic result for Jesse. Oh, this starting grid is going to be a mess. Meerkat dropping up into fifth. Jap Game 88 in second place. He's going to take first row of the grid for the time being. There's still some big contenders yet to go, but dear God, from what we've seen so far, traffic has been the death of this session. And some of these drivers are going to be clawing their way through the field through the early stages of the race. Brezenchik, fantastic to see. The Porsche's doing very well. Very much a lap of the underdogs, it seems. Who else do we have? Andu is across the line. Stormy is across the line 5th. So our top 5 is a Ginetta, 2 Porsches, a BMW and a Ferrari. And there's still more times to come in. Andu to 4th. Phantom Hamster will go 10th. Nins all the way down to 14th now is going to have a lot of work to do, but he's got the pace if he needs it. And here we go. P-Lock jumps in to 17th. Domino Lambo never got out. Wagner is still lapping. Stephen Carey is still lapping. This might actually be... No, that is doable. That's fine. Atlas Garen looks like he did not get a lap in, unfortunately. Colossus 2 with that damage. Looks like he did not get a lap in. Lonya, no lap set, so there must have been a time penalty there. Oh, Stephen Carey's flashing us, just to make sure that we know he's coming. Down the brakes into the final chicane at Tiergarten. I've now got the map up because names elude me today. And what is this gonna be? Stephen Carey, a mere 7th. Wagner behind. Oh, didn't quite get to see that. Okay. Are you ready for this? Because I'm not. Oh boy. I've got a warm-up lap to do yet as well. Good grief. Where did the Mercedes of Wagner in 4th? Congratulations to all of the drivers who made up the top 10. Your lives may be slightly easier. Come the start of the race. I'm going to run all the way down there just in case the session decides to die. But we've got Lambo, Mlonya, Psycho, Atlas Gerhen, and Colossus right at the back of the grid. Now, those cars are not... The Renault especially is a quick car around here, if they've got the setup right. So, Atlas is going to be trying to get his way up the field, and he is going to have a lot of competition in his way. Meanwhile, the McLaren 650S Gromazeka languishing comparatively down in 9th here. There's so much to pick apart. There's so many questions I want to ask. Don't want to disturb them at the moment. That's the problem. Do I grab? No, I won't. Part of me was very tempted to pull TPW because he was complaining about the straight line speed of the Ginetta down the in the pre-race chat, and it seems he had nothing to worry about. Shockingly, you know, racing drivers, man, they get the excuses in nice and early, and then oh, that's yep, yeah, okay, it looks like I think we're going to be doing a lobby reset. Yep. So, I'll see you back here in a minute. Just while I sort all this out. Okay. That was, oh, that was fun. Welcome back, everybody. I'm very sorry for that. It seems that, Project Cars was having fun. And it seems it still is having fun. Yay! And, oh man. Okay, so, I don't know what happened there. This is the joy of being in the comm box while everybody else is actually talking and knows what's going on. But it appears that that lobby was not having fun, and so we're going to have to rebuild it. I apologise profusely for those snapshot pictures that you heard while in the stream starting soon screen. It's just the way that Windows captures audio causes problems for things like this. I'm still trying to work around it, and fingers crossed I'll have a solution soon. But it's just a case of making it work. As you can probably see in chat, there's a thing happening. Okay, so what's going to happen, and this has happened a few times, and that is, of course, just par for the course with Project Cars, is occasionally the lobby will kind of die a little. Ah, damn it. I love these AOR boys. They do know how to banter. Okay, so let us try this again, shall we? And hopefully this will be even more crazy, because now we're going to have cars trying to adjust their starting positions live while warming up their tyres. Just in case you wanted more challenge. So, this will not be the starting order that you see the cars in right now, but this is your starting order for the race. In first place will be Ticklewish Picklewickle in the Ginetta G55. Second will be Jack Game in the Porsche 911. Third will be Dee Brezenchik in the Porsche 911 as well. In fourth place, rather handily actually, will be Wagner in the Manfilters Mercedes. In fifth place will be Andu in the BMW M6 GT3. In sixth will be Stormy CZ in the Ferrari. In seventh will be DJesse Gaming. In eighth will be Stephen Carey. In ninth will be Gromazeka. In 10th will be Deuce. In 11th will be Meerkat. In 12th will be Phantom Hamster. In 13th, Mad Dog. 14th, Stevo. 15th, Lev. 15th, Lev, sorry. I can't count. 16th will be Nintz. 17th will be Thomas D. 18th will be P-Lock. 19th will be Dominu. 20th will be Claes Lambo. Bringing up the rear, 21st will be Melania. 22nd, Psycho. 23rd, Atlas Gerhan. And 24th, Colossus. So as per usual, our drivers will be doing their very best to estimate how much fuel they're going to need over this 7-lap race. 7 laps, man. Ooh. Ooh, that's going to be a long race. I feel for them now. Trying to get this lap right twice in a row is a bit of a challenge. Trying to get to the... Actually, where is the grid? Where is Ticklewish Picklewickle? Where's TPW going to have to get from? Thomas D is quite far down as well. That's Stephen Carey, Colossus. Here we go. Ticklewish Picklewickle, 21st on the grid as we see it. He is going to need to get up to first on the grid. Very, very quickly. And everybody has kind of died. TPW running up the middle, and here we go. Here we go. Now we have our leader as he should be in the start of the grid. Second will be Jack Game. Third will be Bresenchik in that red and white Porsche. And now we have Wagner, and now everything goes mental. Andu coming up to 5th place. Stormy in the Ferrari will come up now, and then Jesse Gaming follows suit. Stephen Carey in the Lamborghini now leaving the grid. Then Gromazeka is joining the queue. Deuce is right on the money. Good man. Meerkat in the NSX. No surprise to see him there. And Phantom Hamster. The two teammates are going to be together coming off the grid. Is that going to be better for them, or is it going to be worse? We will find out. Behind them, Mad Dog. Trying to get tyres warm already, man. You really is that bad, is it? And Stevo in the Ferrari. A valiant effort, by the way, from Stevo. Very good to see him this far up the grid. Then Nintz. Then we will need Thomas D. Then P-Lock. Then Dominu. Then P-Lock, Dominu. Then Claes Lambo. There we go. And then Mlonia from Psycho, from Atlas, from Colossus, from Mr. Zach and Enton, who both... Mr. Zach wasn't there before, but Enton will be a rejoin from a retirement in qualifying. I'm going to have to find out from him if he's willing to talk at the end of the race and find out what went wrong there. Remember, boys, this isn't the GP circuit, this is the Nordschleife. Now they're forming... I wonder why they're forming up. See, at the back of the grid, they're forming up 2 by 2. Whereas at the front, they are actually, you know, running as they should be. Oh, how very weird. What? This track does strange things to cars. It does strange things to people. TPW not bothered in the slightest about putting any heat through that car whatsoever. Why are they lining up 2 by 2 already? Or is this the green light? It seems like this might be the green light. Off they go, and they are. Yep, this is it. This is it. They're gone. TPW has maintained his lead for the time being. They're all being very polite through the first chicane of this lap, anyway. It looks like Nintz has had a touch, or that may have been the LOD, causing problems stuck on the outside. Now that Renault is already making places of Atlas. Warned by the stewards previously, and there was a Ginetta there of Claes Lambo just drifting off the side of the track. Everyone is being very tippy-toey on this lap now. This is, oh boy. Oh boy. So, the two Porsches now running second and third behind the Yorkshire-built Ginetta G55. Over Flansbach. I remember that name. Flugplatz. I don't remember that name. Round through the forest, up through Schroedenkreuz, Arenberg, and now we fall down. Do you know what we are? We got to do this. We got to do this. Drone camera chasing the 911 now down through Arenberg, through Pushroha, up the hill into Adenauer. See if I can find a way to keep that there. There we go. It looks so slow, but believe me, it really isn't. 140 miles per hour now, coming into Metzgerfeld. Just touching the grass. Bravery already, and it's only the first lap. Well, bravery or stupidity. We'll go for bravery until he ends up in the barrier. Ticklewish Picklewickle, meanwhile, doing what Enton and the Mercedes did during qualifying and just walking away from the grid. Absolutely insane pace from that Ginetta in this opening bout. 7 laps. So around 60 minutes, let's say. And the first stopper in the bottle, it seems, is that BMW. Obviously nothing that Andu can do about that. He's just got to drive to his pace, and that was the Ferrari of Stormy. I thought it was. Going very wide. Out of there. And now up. Through one of the very long straight sections, straightish sections. This will be Kesselchen? I'm entirely guessing at this point. I don't know the names of these particular straights. What they are doing, however, is coming down towards... Oh, that Ferrari Stormy, you way outbraked yourself, and that's going to open the door for Jesse Gaming. Into the carousel, though. You don't pass here. You never pass here. No pass has ever been made around the outside there, and Jesse Gaming is going to lose. No, he's not. He's going to just retain his place from that McLaren. Now hop round Hoacht, and Jesse has spun. An enormous accident there. Was Grumazeka involved as well? It looks like the Lamborghini got light on the rear on turning and clattered the... Oh, good grief, who was that? Steve-O doing a full spin. Oh, and the Mercedes of Enton now up to 16th from that last on the grid. Fantastic showing from Enton so far. Jesse Gaming as well. No, that wasn't Els Thomas D. Recovering from another trip excursion onto the grass. Looking slightly further up the grid, Phantom Hamster and Meerkat still running line astern in those team cars. Phantom looking like he is the racier of the two, and Steve-O... No, come on. Stormy, and massive spin. Come up through Flint's Garden. No, we're not that far around yet. Bipperman, I think. Here's Flint's Garden. So that would have been, yeah, Eschbach. Around Bipperman. Getting very sideways again. Coming round the mini carousel. Oh, that Ferrari is not happy. Whatever's going on there, that Ferrari is not happy at all. Stephen Carey, meanwhile, is very happy. Looking at the back of the BMW, he is the last person to be hanging on to the back of Andu for that 4th place. He's in the tow, but he's not got the legs enough down the straight. Can he do it under braking into Tiergarten? It's going to be brave if he does, but it's not going to be that just yet. Out onto the start-finish line, though. He goes to the outside. Hopefully has the acceleration to overcome the BMW, but he does not. The BMW claws his way back and will have the inside line. No, he will give best. Meerkat, meanwhile. Ah, who's that? Wagner pits? Wagner in the pits. Jesse Gaming in the pits. Gromazeka in the pits. Phantom Hamster in the pits. What's going on here then, lads? Oh. Jesse Gaming in the pits as well. Why is this? Repairs? Tyres? Surely not. What is everyone pitting for? It's there's a mandatory pit stop, but surely you'd do that on tyres. Fuel. I'm going to suggest that's for repairs. At the head of the grid, the very quiet Ginetta G55 of Ticklewish Picklewickle, looking thoroughly in control. Well, other than the oversteer. Meanwhile, Bresnchik has lost out to Stephen Carey. So through the Grand Prix section, the only bit where you can really overtake, Stephen Carey has made hay while the sun shines, almost as bright as that Lamborghini does, and got himself from 5th to 3rd. And in doing so, has pushed that Porsche 911 back into the grasp of Andu. What Andu can do from here, we have to see. And gap seems fairly stable at the moment. Meanwhile, Enton, having not pitted, is now looking at the back of Meerkat, and by extension, he is currently in the place of where Phantom Hamster would be. Very much in the position of where Phantom Hamster would be. That's about where Phantom Hamster was when he pitted. Down through Arnberg. Up to Adenauer. Side by side now, and the Mercedes gets him. Fairly easy pass. The Mercedes is significantly more grunty than that turbocharged NSX. And next on Enton's hit list will be Deuce. Apologies for that silence. I was trying to get an updated map for the for Nordschleife. Now, you will be going left. There we go. That will be mud curve. Kink right. There we go. Into Kierstadt. Down into Stielstrecke. There we go. Missed the apex entirely, but that's not all that important. And now up the hill through this winding section and on the brakes into the banking at the carousel. Whoa, his network not quite happy with what was going on there, trying to spit him off more than the car seemed to be. Upper Hoacht. There we go. I've now got all the right names now. Distortion. Ah, Brunchen. Here we go. A double right-hander. There we go. Through the dip, up the hill. Keep it as flat as you can. Over the top. Car goes light. Back onto the brakes. Trace curve. Then Flatsgarden. Through here to the right. And up through Sprunghegel. I don't know if that's the right pronunciation now. And now, one of the best sections of any course anywhere in the world, Flansgarden 2, apparently. Beautiful four-wheel drift there from the Mercedes. really looking balanced. So balanced, in fact, that that Lamborghini is just holding him up, flashing his lights furiously, trying to get Deuce to give up the space, but he is not going to. This is a race for position, and there is no need for him to give it up. Mini carousel, and then through the double right-hander. It's not going to happen yet, but it could happen on Dottinger. If the Mercedes has the legs on the Lamborghini. Only time will tell on that one, though. In the slipstream, the gap's closing. He left that so late. Side by side, I don't think Kenton's confident about the top end speed of that Mercedes in a straight line, and he is right to be only just getting the gap done. And now Deuce is the one to do the chasing up, coming up through Tier Gun. He catches the curb. Oh, and an enormous crash for Enton and Deuce. That impact I saw coming a mile off, I've got to be honest. I hope Deuce gave some warning of that, because that was... He should have bailed out of that entire corner, not even tried to get make the apex a Tier Gun. We've seen it so many times. Accidents occur, and so much more damage being done because the drivers have tried to make the corner. Now Andu chasing down Bresenchik. It looks like this battle is going to be going on for a while. These two cars very well matched in a different way. Steve-O has just gone up some place. Because Meerkat and Stormy have pitted. Coming out. Stormy is going to lose another position now to Jesse. He's not even pitted yet. And now Phantom Hamster pitting. He looks to have had some damage, as has Gromazeka. The head of the field is generally reasonably tidy, other than obviously the limping Enton and Deuce from that collision earlier. Meanwhile, Gromazeka, that damage not phasing him in the slightest. Up through the latter half of the GP circuit. Phantom Hamster leaves the pits. A bit of air around him. But his next target will be Stormy CZ. But he has lost 4 positions compared to his teammate Meerkat. That must have been a rather immense collision or accident they'd had. And McLaren, with, I would assume, some new boots on, has dispatched the Ferrari of Steve-O and set off in hot pursuit of the Mercedes of Wagner. It's the first time we've heard one of these cars get air over floodplats. These guys are being very careful. They do not want to dent these beautiful racing cars. What's going on with Psycho down here? Free pass on Claire's Lambo. It looks like Lambo is just coasting around. Just trying to get... Is that damage on the rear? It looks like damage on the rear. But it also looks... No one's waiting for interview yet. It looks like Clace is not got the confidence to be really pushing. Meanwhile, Mr. Zach, round to the back of the grid, looking to put some pressure on Psycho in a sister Ferrari. Really looking to put some pressure. Oh. And Psycho jumps off track to get out of his way. Very polite from the lower echelons of the grid. Who is that blue dot that we're missing? Oh, and Zach has spun it going down into Arnberg. Arnberg. All of that progress and politeness wasted. The gaps now are going to be getting quite spread out. Jack Game with some damage on the front of the Porsche. I wonder how that's happened. Nintz is now in front of him as well. They're all fairly spread out. Unfortunately, this is the way it's going to go. Until or unless someone pulls a strategy out of their back. Kind of. I wouldn't say stuck for things to look at. All of these cars running around Nordschleife is a joy to behold. We do have a retirement. A car has retired. A couple of cars have retired actually, but not. How very odd. Oh, that was some understeer from Nintz. Perhaps pushing a little bit too hard, me old matey. Or perhaps the Porsche is just starting to come on song now. I'm pretty sure we've seen Jack Game in the pits. So it would make sense that he's taken about this amount of time to get those tyres warmed up. The 911 is very, very, very gentle on its tyres. So, Chromaseka in the background of the picture there. We know how quick he is. Wagner in the man-filtered Mercedes, however, also a little bit of a handy weapon. It seems, especially with this Nordschleife setup that he's got on his Mercedes. He was running as high as 4th at the start of this race. Running so close to the edge of the track. Massive confidence in that hot rod shaped Mercedes. out onto Dottinghoe. And compared to the pace of Enton, I think it was earlier, able to walk away from the Mercedes of Thomas. Enton in the pits. Andu now closing in on Brzezinski once again. And Nins, meanwhile, lost out to Jack Game here. Could this be a falling down of the Lamborghini? Nins desperately trying to prove me wrong. Having a very quick peek to the inside. Looking to get that traction going down the hill towards the hairpin at the bottom. It's not to be though. The 911, it looks like, has bested the Lamborghini. Enton now behind Gromazeka, having an enormous lockup there. Oh my goodness, that would have been the first opportunity that Enton had had to pit for damage after that horrific crash at Tiergarten. A penalty has come through of 10 seconds for Bologna. We can only assume that is for their pit entrance speed. And we've lost. No, we haven't. We're fine. Keeping track of all these cars without a proper timings page is very difficult. Wagner runs wide. That's not what you want to do when you have that orange McLaren bearing down on you. This could very easily be 9th place for the Russian. First time I've called Gromazeka that in a while. Meanwhile, Andu showing his hand slightly more this time to the Porsche of Brzezinski in 3rd. Perhaps trying to use that straight line speed as they come over the left hand at Kettenbowen. Oh no, they're not. They're way further around. That will be Callenhard. And then through the left right and Dreifach. Dreifach. Yeah, the name. And this is Watermill, ex-Müller. Up the hill, flat right, that always washes the cars out wide. And along the straight, kink left, hard right, hard braking into Bergwerk. And this is Kesselchen. I don't think I've ever heard that name ever mentioned on any broadcast ever. And around the outside, the BMW has much more traction, horsepower and speed, and walks past the Porsche. The Downforce now being taken off the front of the Porsche means that, by comparison, Brzezinski is now gaining more pace. We'll see if he can use that to get back at that BMW, or if that is the race, or that particular battle ended. Gromoseka and Wagner now coming up through Kesselchen, as the other two cars did. Diving left and right through the valleys of the forest. Absolutely gorgeous track, isn't it? And Wagner now with Nintz in his sights. That 650S is looking way more pointy than the two cars in front of it. Whatever Gromoseka has done, just keeping it half on the carousel, that is incredible. Let's jump to spectating the first of this, just so we appreciate the hounding that Nintz is about to get. It may have been a little touch for Gromoseka and Wagner in the background, but the place has changed hands. Wagner looking a little bit sheepish now the McLaren has gotten past. Who isn't looking sheepish in his defence, however, is Nintz. He knows he can block for all he's worth, and that is going to be a very, very wide Lamborghini for the foreseeable future, at least until he gets onto a straight anyway. Oh, a massive wiggle from where he's turned in too early. That's not going to help anybody. And the credits are getting in the way. All the while that Nintz can keep Gromoseka behind, it gives Wagner an opportunity. Oh, and Gromoseka goes very, very, very wide off into the gravel. Manages to save it, thank goodness. I think he was using my line through there. Which is, you don't brake until after the drop. Up to the mini carousel. These three combatants go. I do love it when they group into groups of three like this. So now, Russian running very wide again. There's going to be no traction on the grass there, mate. That's not how you make time up. Wagner with a pace advantage over the Lamborghini. Strolls past on dotting her. And even with slipstream, is that Lambo even able to close up? Nintz is gonna be running with a problem, it must be. So for the Mercedes to walk away from him like that down the straight is, especially with slipstream, that's crazy. Back onto the GP circuit. Really is an absolutely fantastic contrast. I couldn't think of the word there. The tight, twisty, bumpy, hazardous, hellish Nordschleife, and then you come through some fencing and you're on a Formula 1 track, basically. Smooth as a mill pond. Steve-O dropping into the pit. Gromazeka still piling on the pressure to Wagner here. Gromazeka's proven that he can overtake through through the Nordschleife. No reason to think that he's going to be lacking in confidence here. But he has a bit of a mountain to climb. After that 17 seconds, the gap between Wagner and Jack Game. Monstrous engines thundering through the forest. What on earth could be better than this? Oh no, actually being a Nordschleife would be cooler. But that's expensive and some of us have jobs to do. So, we'll take this instead. Over Flugplatz we go. Little blip of the throttle as the tyres momentarily break traction. And that's the pass done. The McLaren has gone past Wagner and has already gapped him by 1.3 seconds. Up through the hill towards Adenau. Beautiful chicane. Further down the grid, Enton in his slightly more hot roddy than he'd liked Mercedes. Still trying to pile the pressure on, still trying to make up places. Steve-O being very polite just before Flugplatz and letting the Mercedes go. A little flash for us, I think that was. Larry was to say thank you for Steve-O being so nice. What else do we have going on up and down the grid? We do have a small cluster of cars about there. Although that's not... Ah, this is Andu, Breznicek and Deuce. And I think... Nah, Jack Game is a little bit too far back. So Andu currently in third. Stephen Carey is maintaining that gap to Ticklewish Picklewickle in 15 seconds. We'll come back to that in 10 minutes time. Way, Stephen running very wide. Not the fastest way through that corner, mate. Really not. TPW meanwhile you would be forgiven for thinking that he was having a practice session on his own. This is a rather exemplary show of how to drive a car, really. Mr. Zach, meanwhile, we saw him being very exuberant earlier, and he's now looking to put some pressure on to Mr. Zach. But that NSX is not going to be easy to pass. Very stable car through the corners compared to the Ferrari's more flamboyant handling. How these guys get so close to the edge of the track so often, I don't know. Slightly further up the grid, Thomas D getting a massive twitch going there. Pun entirely intended. The wind being taken off the front of the Lamborghini. Just unsettling it, making it go light. Andu now dropping into the pits. And Brezenchik behind. This is going to be mandatory pit stops. Don't actually know if Stephen Carey's made his yet. I'm sure we've seen someone. I'm sure we've seen him in the pits. But if that's the case, this could be your aggregate leader. I have this weird feeling I've seen Stephen Carey in the pits. It doesn't help that he's changed his tag recently. Brezenchik comes out of the pits, having lost a position to Jack Game. And Andu Deuce. Jack Game hasn't pitted. Then Andu. Has Andu gotten past Brezenchik? I think that's an Andu who's gotten past Brezenchik. Well now. What an interesting turn of events. So we now have a BMW ahead of the Porsche through some pit strategy. A time penalty for Stephen Carey. 2 seconds. Probably won't make a massive amount of difference, but you never know. With this competition, it has been all of the little things adding up that has given one driver or another the victory. It's never been one person outright walking away. There's always been strategy being played into everything here. Cheers for Brezenchik as he goes out onto the Nordschleife circuit once again to put himself against the odds and against the forest. So it looks like Stephen Carey is closing down TPW. About a second a lap. We've only got a lap and a half ish to go. Let's call it a lap and 2/3. I don't think this is doable for Stephen Carey unless he has already pitted, and we're going to have to see Ticklewish Picklewickle do the fastest pit stop of his entire life. Stephen Carey hasn't pitted yet. Awesome, thank you. So, that means, means that's what we're looking at now. Your first and second drivers will pit at the end of this lap, probably for, well, a lap of fuel, if that. They've both used the clean air. It's almost like a joker lap. Absolutely astounding. Again, strategy. Strategy playing into everything here. As we hear birdsong in the background at the Nordschleife. Absolutely can't argue about that. The way that Lamborghini just dances on the edge of a Tahitian. Fantastic to watch. Meanwhile, it's like looking at a tractor in a way. You can hear the V8 in the front of that Ginetta. You know that's what it's doing. But it just looks so in control. Even while there's only 3 wheels on the floor. Up the mini carousel. I'm sure every lap is just, come on, come on, come on, come on, gotta get going, gotta get going. And then out onto Dottinghoa. Now, according to TPW, the Ginetta is 19 clicks down, kilometers, sorry. Down on the other cars. That's 165 for the Ginetta down that straight. 165 topping out at. And if we look back now, 165. 166 for the Lamborghini. They are about on par. So it could be that Stephen Carey's running a higher. Here we go, into the pit stops. This is going to be the most critical pit stop of TPW's life. Made a pit stop, has not incurred a penalty, and now we will see Stephen Carey do similarly and haul out the anchor. 37 miles per hour. Now, I'm not going to say that this is going to be close, because it's not yet. TPW's out. And Carey's not even stopped yet. A much quicker stop though. Much quicker. So much less stationary time there. And that gap is now half. Nope. Give it a second to catch up. Timing screens have gone a bit screwy. No, but 5 seconds have vanished from that gap between first and second. We are now within the distance of potentially having a battle for the lead. And Deuce, meanwhile, is going to pit from third place as well. And that might hand the Porsche of Jack Game a podium position. The yellow and black Porsche running in third at the moment, just on the very edge of being under pressure from Andu. Looking further down the grid, Deuce has come back out onto the racetrack right into the path of Wagner, with Gromazeka 8 seconds further up the road. It looks like that place is sealed for Gromazeka, but he is going to try and put pressure on the Porsche through the Nordschleife. Meanwhile, who is going to be having pressure on him very, very soon is Deuce. Fresh out the pit, so his tyres will be slightly cooler. But can that Mercedes, we have seen the Mercedes making their way past Lamborghinis all race. Can Wagner do that on the last lap for a 6th place finish? And Andu is not messing around now. There's a podium at stake. And if anyone wants a podium, it's that BMW Vandu. Currently in the driver standings. Oh, come on. Brezenchik. Sorry, not Brezenchik. Jack Game. Do we have a Jack Game? Jack Game is currently 9th. So a result like 3rd would boost him up immensely. But Andu, now that's a different question. Andu. Where is he on the table? The Porsche is still blocking. There is only 1 lap. Andu, meanwhile, is in 11th. With Phantom Hamster a couple of points in front, a 3rd place would do wonders for his championship and seed him 7th. No, not 7th, sorry. 10th. There we go. But these two are actually competing for championship positions here. Jag Game currently in 9th, Andu in 11th, and the Porsche runs wide. That's going to give the BMW that couple more feet that he might need to make an attack. Guys, can you not, like, pace your races a little bit better so I can actually capture all of your action? I'm going to cut away from this very briefly to look at this battle happening behind. 5 seconds behind. 5 seconds. So we've got a Porsche and a McLaren, and a Porsche and a BMW. And about 7 miles to go. Good luck. To all parties. Yeah, all bets are off on this one. All of them. Every last one. The BMW's got the power down the straights, but none of this is straight. And unless he's going to be very, very brave up the inside, Jag Game goes very wide, and that's the place handed to Andu. Ah, oh, that's upsetting. Come on, Jack. Get it all back together. Get that position back. Meanwhile, in the background, so now we have the two Porsches together. Will Jag Game jump out of the way for his teammate and try and play rear gunner for Brzezinski? Brzezinski, who is currently 4th in the championship. Right behind Stephen Carey and Gromazeka. Brzezinski has a 31-point gap to Carey, but Carey is very... Oh, he's in 2nd at the moment. Duh. Again, changed his name. Time is counting down for Gromazeka. Meanwhile, Jag Game through this high-speed, twisty section where balance of the car is everything, starting to pull the gap back to Andu, it seems. Not by much. It's not close yet. But if this Porsche is going to have any hope of keeping that McLaren at bay, he's going to have to do everything. Oh, a massive kick of oversteer, and that's going to give the McLaren a sniff of a position. Meanwhile, for what it's worth, Ticklewish Picklewickle has come across the line in 1st and has run an utterly exemplary race. Very, very well done. Stephen Carey will come home in 2nd. Andu, meanwhile, is just coming on to Dottinghower and looks to have the gap to Jag Game fairly much settled. And now, of course, as the race finishes, probably through the mini carousel, the McLaren has made the place up. But the Porsche is coming back down the straight. There's absolutely nothing that Gromazeka can do here other than hope and pray that the wind resistance is in his favour. And no, that is not to be. The Porsches 4th and 5th at the moment. Jag Game, the leader. Is he going to step aside for his higher placed teammate? We will find out momentarily, but there's not a lot of no. Okay. That will be Jag Game coming across in 4th, Brzezinski 5th, Gromazeka 6th, and that was insane. That was a mental last lap. All of this strategy coming, and Andu's attacking a cone. Of course he is. And Juice will come home 7th. Wagner seems to be celebrating early his safe 8th place. Stormy, meanwhile, having a good old fight with Nintz there. Round the outside on the grass. That's not the way to do it, guys. That is actually the way to do it, let's be fair. Fantastic respect. Just about enough space given both ways. Ferrari, oh, a touch on the rear quarter of the Lamborghini. This is not going to end well if you keep leaning on each other like that, boys. Side by side down Dotting Hoa, 165-ish miles per hour, and the Ferrari just gets it. Is that Lamborghini going to fight back? Slightly more than metaphorically in this last section. No, and Nintz does the responsible thing whilst being very much out of control and kind of abandons it on the inside of the corner. Well played, well done. Further down the field, so this is now 14th. Did we even get any lapped cars? We didn't get any lapped cars, so these guys have roughly 5 minutes now to be able to finish. It will still be classified even if they don't cross the line, so enter now. Good to see and Stormy has come home in 12th, Nintz in 13th. Steve-O comes to join the party at turn 1 in 14th. Mad Dog 16th. 15th, sorry. Meerkat in 16th. Thomas D coming down the Dotting Hoa with a lot of mechanical damage, it looks like. Wow. You can hear, I'll put the speedo up. Not even at full throttle because he's got that much damage. But he made it. And this is what you call spirit of endurance. He's going to make it across the line and probably abandon it there. That's quite enough of that. Zach still making his way down Dotting Hoa. Sure, Mad Dog. Sure. What are we looking at? Zach is coming up through Plants Garden. One of the names. One of the names. Last chicane. And across the line he shall come. I don't think Lambo's going to get to the checkered flag, unfortunately. And while our race winner, Phantom retired. That's a shame. So, I don't think that's going to make any difference whatsoever. No, it's not. So, your final classification, while we wait for the Ginetta at the head of the field and at the tail of the field to wind up the rest of the race. In first place will be Ticklewish Picklewickle. In second place will be Stephen Carey. In third place will be Andu, and fourth will be Jack Game. Bresdenchik round out our Porsches for the race. The McLaren 650S of Gromaseka will come home 6th. 7th will be Deuce. 8th will be Wagner. 9th will be Lev. 10th will be Jesse Gaming. Very good showing from Jesse there. 11th will be Enton after that horrible accident that we saw earlier in the race. Seeing him in pushed into the wall by one of the Lamborghinis. I think it was Deuce, actually. Stormy CZ coming home in 12th. Good showing through qualification, but this is probably about where he would have been. Nins in 13th, Stevo 14th, Mad Dog 15th, Meerkat in 16th. Really poor showing for the NSXs today. It seems that the luck was not with them at all tonight. Thomas D in 17th, Zach in 18th, and Claes Lambo will eventually come home in 19th. Absolutely enormous gap. Now, I wonder if we are nope, that's fine. Now, what is going on with Claes Lambo? Is that literally just... Yeah, he's just driving slowly. He's making sure he gets to the end, and his car is in one piece as well. Showroom spec, mate. Showroom spec. Absolutely well done on getting that drive done. Nordschleife is a demanding and threatening circuit, and I don't use that word lightly. And congratulations to Lambo. Last he may be, but conquered it he has. The final corner now, with over 100 seconds remaining on the countdown timer. And we will welcome home our final finisher, Claes Lambo. Congratulations to all. You conducted yourselves fantastically throughout. And just to confirm, because I didn't think that we had anything change. Ticklewish Picklewickle is your victor tonight. Stephen Carey will come home in second in the Lamborghini. Andu will come home in third. Jag Game fourth. Brezenchik in fifth. Gromaseka in sixth. Juice in seventh. Wagner in eighth. Lev will come home ninth. Jesse Gaming 10th. Enton 11th. Stormy CZ in 12th, Nintz in 13th, Stevo in 14th, Mad Dog 15th, 16th will be Meerkat, 17th Thomas D, 18th Zach, 19th Claes Lambo, and Phantom Hamster, Psycho and Melania will be our retirements. So, we will find out in a moment if we have anybody wanting to have interviews. It would be nice to talk to our top three, especially as it's been a bit of a difficult race. Andu especially has absolutely had the a rough time of it. Up and down the grid, very much like a yo-yo. But not a lot to talk about from that race. A very straight up, very easy race to pick apart. The faster cars struggled a lot, obviously, because of the nature of the track and the amount of cars, the sheer amount of car entrance that we had. I will, however, pick our victor into the combox. How was that for you, my good friend?
I must admit, I feel pretty good right now.
Mr. Oh, the Janetta's 19 kilometers per hour slower on the straights.
Well, they were, but I mean, obviously, I must have caught that timing in the twisty bits.
Oh, I had absolutely no doubt that the Janetta was going to be like a scalded cat through the twisties. And let's face it, Nordschleife is entirely twisty.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is. I suppose, yeah, but Yeah, I was maybe expecting to lose more time on that straight, but
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't so bad apparently.
No.
So
No, absolutely. Well, you got your racing driver excuses out of the way. So, how was your racing driver's speech then? How was the race? How was it for you?
well, I mean, obviously nothing really much interesting happened, but uh, I mean, I was obviously enjoying driving the track. It's an absolutely awesome track, and just the sheer um, like challenge of actually keeping the car on the black stuff is pretty much what makes this track so great. So I enjoyed that, and well, Steven, he was I think for the second half of the race, he was actually catching up on me.
Yeah.
Um, he was pushing pretty hard. I told he said that after the race. So, but yeah, I played it safe. I wouldn't really want to put it in the wall because, I mean, especially on this track, if you get damage, it's like
It's hell.
yeah,
Oh no, it really
exactly.
is.
Especially if it's early on the lap, you're maybe like you got half the track left to just run with damage. I mean, you can lose so much time. So
Yeah. Oh no. We there was actually a good example of that. Enton was on the brakes to trying to come into Tiergarten. Literally the last chicane on the track, and Deuce got all sorts of sideways up behind him, got on the grass and nailed him into the wall. He had to do an entire lap with a massive amount of damage on.
that sucks for him.
Yeah. Oh no, it was
Actually,
entirely a racing incident. I put no blame anyway. It was just one of those things, but it's just it illustrates your point perfectly. This track is so punishing for mistakes.
yeah, and actually, it was funny that you should mention Anton because um, he actually had a disconnect in the qualifying,
Mhm.
and yeah, so I mean, he was doing pretty well, and I would actually think that if he would have stayed for the qualifying, and maybe if he not had such bad luck as you said in the race, he might have maybe snatched a win because he was like up there at some point, like fifth or sixth, I think.
Oh yeah, no. His
So
pace was on. Like he was on for a podium at least.
yeah,
Um.
he basically. I mean, if we call Tom Christensen Mr. Le Mans,
Mhm.
I think we could justify calling Ensign Mr. Nordschleife
We can
because
he can be AOR's Mr. Nordschleife. That's
yeah,
absolutely fine.
he
I'll take
he's
that.
absolutely an absolute king of the track. He
Yeah. No, absolutely.
he does a lot of different stuff on that track, and it's great for him. But it was a little bit of a shame that he couldn't really contend for
No,
the
absolutely.
win, I suppose, because he definitely deserved it. He
Yeah.
had the pace, definitely.
Oh no, totally. However, his bad luck is your fortune because that is going to gift you fifth place in the championship.
Yeah, that's awesome. Obviously, I'm happy for that, and it's at the end of the day, it's racing, and these things happen, and sometimes, outright pace is not everything, especially on this track.
Yep.
Um, so the absolute number one priority on this track should, in my opinion, be to sort of
Survive.
be fairly consistent, and yeah, basically just survive and don't put it in the wall because when you put it in the wall, you have to repair the damage, and you just lose like a bunch of time. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. Well, where are we going to next? Oh, Sakito
yeah,
in GT3 cars.
in the
That's
rain,
that sounds. Oh, in the
uh,
rain as well.
yeah, for 90 minutes and reverse.
You're going to you're really gonna have my jealousy with that. Nah, Sakito in the wet's great fun.
Yeah, and endurance race as well. So it's
Yeah,
gonna be a bit different.
just
It's
slightly.
usually these endurance races are usually a bit more interesting than the sprint runs, so to say.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
That'd be
a lot
good
of things
fun.
can happen. So I'm looking.
Absolutely. Anyway, I'll see you next week, and I hope you have a good mate.
You too, mate.
Oh, we're going to grab next. We're going to grab our second place driver, Stephen Carey. You had a slightly more eventful qualifying and race, didn't you there? Oh, hang on.
Nobody saw my qualifying.
Nobody saw your qualifying? Oh no, I don't think anyone did see you qualifying actually.
All right.
You got lucky.
Well,
You absolutely
I
didn't
don't
crash.
know. No, I absolutely didn't crash. I absolutely didn't have suspension and aero damage. Well.
Excellent, excellent. But second place in the race, and quite honestly, an absolute demonstration that you can overtake on the Nordschleife.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's difficult, but you can do it.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, I lost a lot of time in the first lap.
Yeah.
I think there was some questionable blocking there, but well, yeah. It is like this.
Yeah, it's the Nordschleife. I think any kind of blocking is questionable blocking here because there's only room for 2 cars. Like,
let alone for one.
yeah, exactly. There is strictly room enough for 2 cars on the Nordschleife, and if someone parks their car in the middle, then it's never gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. But as you mentioned, I had lots of opportunities to overtake in the first lap. When the other driver was all the way to the side, I was literally next to them, and they would decide to cross over the whole lane.
Oh, okay.
And I think, I don't know. I don't think I have to watch the replay because there's nothing illegal there or something, but could have been better.
Yeah, of course. It's just the way it goes sometimes, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was my fault in qualifying that I didn't qualify higher, so
yeah.
I don't blame anyone.
No. Absolutely, totally agree. But you did manage to rescue a second place, which, if I'm looking at it correctly, you had a 15-point gap to Gromazeka in second. So you're closing the gap up. Second is definitely becoming within reach, and our next race out is going to be Sakito with a reverse grid. in the rain as well.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a particular fan of rain races, and then I think the rain stops in the middle of the race, and then it's become clear and sunny. That will be very tricky.
Yes.
Yeah, I have to do a lot of practice of it. Yeah.
And find the crossover point. Pick a point at which you start to become happy with the balance of the car and to switch over to dry tires.
Yeah, exactly. I think you just have to drive the wet tires as long as you can until they literally explode.
Yep.
Before you switch to slicks.
Absolutely.
Because, too soon and you will spin 2 or 3 times.
Yep. Oh, don't worry. I've had more than enough experience doing that. Good grief.
Me too.
Oh man. But yeah, it'll be good fun. At least it'll be a challenge.
Yeah, definitely. I think could be almost as challenging as the Nordschleife because Sakito is a very challenging track. You don't have much time to relax, except for 2 small straights.
Yep.
And then a 1.5 hour race.
Yep.
Going to be hard.
It's going to be non-stop. And it's going to be, because it's so bumpy as well. Like, you're absolutely spot on for bumpiness. Like, it is just as bad as Nordschleife. Can't believe they race Formula 1 cars around there.
Exactly, yeah.
But, yeah, no, we're looking forward to it, though, yeah?
I'm absolutely looking forward, because last season's reverse grid races were really exciting, because they were winners or first few places who you absolutely wouldn't expect to finish that high.
Yep.
Absolutely interesting, yep.
Ah, fantastic. Well, I look forward to it then. I'm sure everyone at home will as well. Thank you very much for putting on a fantastic show today, and congratulations on your second place, mate.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for casting again.
It's my pleasure.
I watched the complete VOD of the last race. Absolutely amazing, mate.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. You have a lovely evening anyway, mate. All right.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
See ya. Now, we do have a meerkat to speak to, but we do also have a Thomas to speak to. Welcome to the Combox. How on
Hi.
earth are you doing?
Good evening. I'm fine. Well, not really because of my last lap.
What happened on your last lap?
Uh, I saw my personal best and I wanted to beat it, but I was just too greedy and hit the wall.
Oh, okay. It's,
Mentioned.
these things happen though. You gotta learn patience and you gotta learn to pace yourself.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
So no, it's all part of the learning curve.
true. Yeah.
But other than that, how was your race? How are you feeling about that?
If the race was 6 laps, I would give it a 8 out of 10. I think.
There we go. That's the main thing. But you're
Yeah.
happy with your performance. Your fastest lap that you did end up setting was good enough for you. Oh, he's gone. What happened there? Why did you leave the box? What did you leave the box for?
A little mistake. Sorry.
That's fine. Sorry, I make that mistake all the time. Put the mouse
Yeah.
down, leave it alone. Find something
Yeah.
else. Find something else to awkwardly fiddle with. Sorry, yeah. So 8 out of 10 for the first 6 laps. You
Yeah.
happy with your pace generally?
Yes. I had some. It's just because the lap is that long, you cannot have a completely clean lap. But
No, of course.
I had some, let's say, sectors where I was very quick.
Mhm.
My feeling then. I'm just happy with that. I know
No,
you cannot be completely clean. So.
no. Of course, the lap's so long that you're
Yeah,
never gonna have a clean time of it. I'm
yeah, true.
just trying to look you up on where are you? 17th at the moment in the championships, just behind Devil. Now Devil didn't show up
Well,
tonight, I don't think. So was that gonna give you some points to him? Because you are very close to him.
I hope so.
It would be
Well,
it would be awesome, wouldn't it?
yeah, 17 is my number today. Qualified 17, finished 17.
Yeah, man. No, it's hey, at least you're consistent.
Yeah, I said to myself, it's some points, you know.
No,
It's not
totally.
0.
Yep, which is
Mistakes,
exactly what we
happen.
want. Yeah, yeah. It's all the points make prizes, and at the end of the day, you got to the end of the race. Like even
Yes.
Claes Landbo,
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
he potted around at the back of the grid and played it nice and careful, but he came home with a mint car.
Yeah.
Like, how many other people up and down the grid came home with bumpers hanging off and windscreens crashed and that sort of thing, cracked and that sort of thing? It
Well,
just drive at your pace, and the wins will come. The experience will come. You'll get better, and it will come to you.
it's that's good. That's not what I did in the last lap.
No, exactly. But you now know that. You
Yeah.
just got to run to your pace, because the thing is that all you're going to do is either overachieve
Yep.
and do yourself a disservice that way, or you're going to push yourself too hard and it's just going to go into the wall.
Mhm.
At which point all that
Yeah.
work that you've done up until that point is for nothing.
Yep.
But
I exactly knew the corners where I could be quicker, and I was not just driving it normally, but I was trying to get it quicker than normally. So that's not that's what made me spin. So
absolutely,
if I if I could drive it just normally, if you know what I mean, then
yeah, it would
it
have
was
been.
even it was still quicker, but no spins.
Yeah, if you'd have driven it at say 7 or 8 tenths as opposed to 11 tenths like you were,
Yep.
you would have been fine. Absolutely, no, absolutely. Hindsight's
Just
2020 though. We just need
just
to take that
yeah.
little nugget of wisdom, and we're going to move forward with it, yeah?
That's
On
true. And yeah.
to Sakito in the rain.
Oh, I heard it. Reverse grids. That's amazing.
Yep, it's, well, Well, it's going to be amazing for you. 17 is not going to be your number next time out, is it?
I don't want to jinx myself, but I have to finish in the top 10 now next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, you got no
No,
excuse,
I'm,
have
not,
you?
I'm not gonna say that.
No, no, no.
I'm
Don't.
just you.
I was going to say, don't
Yeah.
set expectations. It's better to surprise them on the day than
Yeah,
not. But yeah, you're looking forward to it.
absolutely. But the
Excellent.
rain, not really.
Nah, the rain will be fine. Everyone will be struggling with it. You just need to make it look flamboyant. And make
I
it.
will tell you. I will tell you what. I think I never drove rain in Project Cars 2 actually.
Oh boy. Okay.
Only
Well,
F1.
you're in for a shocker then.
Yeah,
I'll
I
be.
will practice then.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. All right, man. Right. I will catch you later.
It's fine. Yeah.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
very much
commentating.
for popping in, and I hope you have a lovely evening.
Yeah. You as well.
See you later.
See you later.
And lastly, on our interviews, and then we can wrap up, is Meerkat, the
Sky.
only NSX to finish the race.
Yep.
Talk to me, man. Talk to me. What happened?
It's what you call lack of practice on pit entry.
Oh, really?
Yes, oh really.
What?
I've been able to hold it. Well, there's too many entrances that look like the entrance, which aren't the entrance. They're faced with concrete bollards.
Oh no. Oh, I
Oh,
see.
yes.
Oh, good grief. Oh wow. Okay. I really wasn't expecting that one. Good grief.
Yeah, came off on too soon of an exit, expecting it to be the pit entry.
Uh-huh.
I glanced at the map to see where the red line was and thought it was, and it wasn't. It was red and white concrete bollards. So luckily it was only a tap, but managed to pull in, get me pit stop done.
Oh,
went
did you go
out
into
and
the
then-
did you go into the the Nordschleife pits?
Yes.
Oh.
I did say that I'm so used to the the GT track.
Oh, okay. Oh man. Oh, I feel for you. I really do.
Yeah, so that cost me 13th, I think. Well, no, 11th at one point.
Yep.
Well, I climbed up somewhere. I can't remember what it was because everybody pitted on the second lap. They
And
just dove into the pits.
what happened there? Was that was just people trying to get their early pit stops out of the way?
Yeah, it's the leapfrog. Tried the leapfrog, tagged it,
It wouldn't.
and it works in some cases, but
I don't think it would work here. Because
well, it did.
Oh, did it?
Because obviously, because if you actually go for a long stint at AK, you go past them, just think, right, get out there, pull fastest lap that I can do, and get round. The moment you pull into the pits on that, they're already up to speed and catching you up. So you can't pull a leapfrog on the faster guys. You've got to go in roughly behind them and try and stick with them, hope they make a mistake.
Yep.
So, but yeah, couple of mistakes. I made a mistake on my qualifier, but I still ended up P11, which was thankful.
Yep.
So I'd have been higher if I hadn't to flipping spun.
Well, no.
But, hey, it's never been one of my favourite tracks in Nordschleife.
No. But hey, the thing is that TPW, who started on pole, got an absolute slowdown because someone spun in front of him. Like he had to haul out the anchor and come to a complete stop on his on his fast lap. So nobody got a clean lap.
Yeah. He still pulled us to 8:19.
Say again? Oh yeah, no, he still pulled an 8:19. That Ginetta is rapid through the twisties. It is so, and he was complaining about not having straight line speed. His his Sexton 1 and 2 times were just like seconds faster than anyone else.
Awesome.
Yeah, no. It was
Awesome stuff on that.
great to see a homebrew garden shed on wheels get to the pole.
Yeah, got to admit, because that NSX I'm beginning to find you have to drive it like you're on fire in order to get any speed out of it.
That sounds like the way I drive the McLaren.
Oh, I got the McLaren, sweet. It was.
Oh no, so do I.
On rails.
Yeah.
So yeah, when it was on rails, yeah, I'm working on it, and working on that NSX. I will get the damn dampers fixed.
Cool.
That's the key.
I was going to say, that's what I've found. I've found that you can leave all the other pages alone. You just go to the dampers and just sort of go, I'm going to spend all of my life looking at these numbers, not knowing what to do with them.
Yep.
Believe me, I tried to make one of those GT1s work from the Endurance League. I don't know. I gave up.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. So yeah, a lot of this was my mistake, but I did notice that, especially that last chicane just before you do the left turns onto into the forest.
Yes.
That chicane's break point every single practice. I've been able to nail perfectly and just get the cars go through it. This one, you had to extend the break point by about 3 car lengths.
Oh really?
It's like, what? So it was like finding where all the break points for all the corners were. So I don't know what the hell it was. But once I found it, I was able to start nailing down the times to catch everybody back.
Oh, of course. It's probably live track doing its thing.
Yeah.
But hey,
live track screw over.
Yes, everybody has it.
I know.
But do you know, season 15, I'm gonna have to drive. I'm gonna have to say that I can't commentate so I can come drive with you, because every single time I get off the stream and I'm just like, I wanted to be driving in that. That looked so much fun.
No, come along. Yeah, somebody else can take over the commentary and streaming.
I'm sure they can. But yes, a mediocre showing, shall we say? But
yep.
Considering all things considered, you got to the end of the race. You've got points. You should be happy with that.
I am.
And
poor old hamster. He had to retire. He ended up smacking the barriers a number of times.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
There is a point early on in the race that you absolutely need to see. Enton gets pinned against the wall. I think it was Juice lost it on the way into Flansgarden, the last chicane of the lap.
Yep.
Tiergarten, sorry. Germans. Coming up into Tiergarten, you know how when someone runs slightly wide onto the grass and then tries to get on the brakes for the chicane?
Yep.
And it always goes wrong?
Yep.
That happened.
I copied him then.
Dear God. As soon as the 2 wheels went on the grass, I was like, I don't want to jinx this, but I know what's coming, and there's nothing that's going to stop it.
Oh, I'm gonna be watching that.
Oh, and he tried, and the thing is, Juice tried to make, because he tried, fair cop, he tried to make the corner. Now, if that had been me, I would have probably aimed straight across the grass and just gone, nope, I'm not doing this tonight. No, not this one.
Yep, there was a number of points where I did that as well.
Yep.
Oh, no, you must slow down, warning.
Yep.
Yep, I had a couple of those. So yeah, it's a hair-raising track, I've got to say.
It really is. But it rewards bravery so much, and it's so challenging, and I love it. Personally, I love this track. I absolutely adore it. I've been gushing about it the entire time. But yeah, personal preference and all that.
Well, I've got to mirror it in a way, but I still definitely prefer my GP tracks.
No, of course.
It's because there's too many corners to remember. Oh
yeah.
My God, I've got a headache.
Speaking of GP tracks, Sakito in the rain with a reverse grid.
Yes.
Next time out, what say you? Good sir.
I say that's going to be down to the fast guys just watching what they're doing, especially in the wets. Because a lot of the back markers still haven't got the idea as to how to side-by-side race. They're getting it. But,
yeah. Yep. So yeah. The question is, no. This is the big question. You're currently in 20th in the championship. That's going to put you quite high up in the grid for next time out, isn't it?
Yeah, should do.
So are we going to be looking at an NSX victory?
Oh, now that's asking a lot.
I don't
More
think
than
it
that.
is.
Last time last time I had that, ended up third, with another group on the reverse grid, and by towards the end of that, the opening lap, I was actually first, and the nerves got the better of me.
Now,
Well, that was 3 years ago. Plenty
maybe,
of more experience now.
I'll say maybe that's something that you'll have to consider. And so that the nerves don't get to you, because I think now you're gonna have twice if he's here: Wagner, P-Lock, Lambo, Mad Dog. So you're gonna be about, let's say, 6th, 7th on the grid, maybe.
Maybe, yep.
Now that's doable.
Yes.
Especially with, and I've done launches in that NSX. I know how good it is. If you get that car set up with the right balance,
So standing grid. So they're doing a standing grid this
no,
time.
it'll be
Standing
rolling.
start, sorry.
It'll be rolling.
we're rolling.
So you still need to get your timings right, but you got a good chance there, man. You really do.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna have to bury myself in the bumpers. AKA the bumps and rebounds. Bury my head in those. Get them fixed. See
Absolutely,
if I can actually do something.
absolutely.
It's fending once those guys, the faster ones at the back though, once they've scythed their way through the whole grid though, they can close. So it's just a case of trying to keep them at bay.
Make hay while the rain falls.
Yes. I'll give it me damnedest for you.
Good man. I really appreciate that. I just want to see the NSX win. We've had Porsche victories, if I remember correctly. We've had all sorts of victories. But we just, yeah, the NSX needs to win.
Very good. I'm working on it.
Good man. Right, and I will speak to you next time out. All right.
Yes, you will do. See you
Awesome.
later, Sky.
Have a lovely evening, mate. And with that extended chat, I always love talking to our drivers. They're brilliant. Yeah, up to the next one. Next time out for Apex Online Racing GT3 League, we are going to Sakito. We are having a reverse grid, and it's going to be raining. It's going to be carnage. Thank you very much for watching. My name has been Eike Sky. You have been watching Apex Online Racing's GT3 League. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you enjoy what we're doing here at Apex Online Racing, consider hitting that subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. Sign up to the forums and get yourself in one of these leagues yourself, and you might find yourself talking to me in the commentary box on the live stream as you've won your very first race. While that may be a bit of a pipe dream, this is not a pipe dream. I've been Eike Sky. You have a lovely evening. It's been fantastic commentating for you, and I will see you next time.